2006, the major version 4 was released. Before it was releases of version 3, 3.6, 7, 8. But major version 4 was a major step for TYPO3. Lots of things have changed. And probably most of you have, if you have worked with TYPO3 or seen TYPO3 before, seen one of the 4 versions, because 4.5, the first long-term support version, is around since 2011 already. And this year, version 6.2, again a long-term support, so 3 years of support was released. So that's a stable basis for businesses to build websites on, because they can be sure that for 3 years they will get support for their content management system, they will get security updates. I think that's pretty cool for an open source product. So there are 3 pillars in the TYPO3 community, or in the TYPO3 project, I would say. The community, of course, is a big part because it's all open source. The association was created in 2005 to support the community in doing what they do. And of course the products themselves. I mean, they stand for themselves. They are the ones that drive the community. The community created the products to get them out to you, basically. So let's talk about that. We are a PHP community. PHP language. So all the products we have are built on PHP. And so if you don't talk PHP as a developer, probably not the right community for you, but maybe you learned PHP in this community. Let's talk about the inspiring part of the TYPO3 community. I just want to show a few examples of things that I find very inspiring for an open source community. First of all, some projects that were built with TYPO3, not by me personally, of course, but that I have found. I randomly select, not randomly, but I selected a few ones that I like, or that I found. The first one, Tamron, is a supplier for photographic stuff, lenses. They are very famous for the lenses. Pretty big company around the world. The worldwide website is built with TYPO3, so all versions for every country and language is built with TYPO3. Of course, I searched for references for Italy, makes sense. So Lamborghini is built in TYPO3. Then I have Biodynamic, a big supplier of audio equipment. And the last one, which is probably one of the biggest references or examples of TYPO3 project, is the Sony Entertainment Network worldwide. This is the Italian version of the website. There are, I think, 6 or 7 languages, and it's there to give you access to games, to videos, to music, and all that. It's built with TYPO3. So you see the scope of TYPO3. You have seen lots of other examples today, as far as I have understood and seen. So you can build from small to very big with TYPO3. We have over 500,000 installations. That is not much compared to WordPress seen on a global scale, but if you see the type of websites that are built with TYPO3, 500,000 is quite a lot, I would say. Then we managed to create a certification system. We are the only open source project that created the official certification for their product. We have over 1,200 certified integrators for the system. So if you're looking for a quality integrator, you can look for the sign, the certified integrator. Not to say that people that don't have the certification are not qualified. I know a lot of people that don't have the certification but are very good TYPO3 developers. But we offer this certification exactly for people to know who they could talk to if they search for an integrator. And this certification system is worldwide. It's web-based by now, so you can take the certification whenever you want. There are certification centers where you can go and do the certification. And currently there's only this one certification, the integrator certification. So it's not a developer certification, it's for people that create websites with TYPO3. So it tests the basic knowledge of creating websites with TYPO3. It's not so much a developer certification. But we see the need of more certificates for trainers, for example, for developers really. So we are in the process of building more certifications around TYPO3 because we think it makes sense to raise the quality level for integrators, for developers, for businesses doing work with TYPO3. And we also think about the future. That's also something that you don't have that often in an open source project. Of course, open source projects evolve, but really thinking far into the future has to come from somewhere. It has to be built. It has to grow. And so people sat around already quite some years ago, because as I said, TYPO3 is around since 1999. That's a very long time in terms of web and also in terms of software development. If you think about code and think about the code, if you are a developer, think about code you wrote in 1999. If you wrote code at that point in time, you probably won't want to use it today. Of course, TYPO3 CMS has changed over time and code has been rebuilt, refactored. But of course, there are parts in TYPO3 CMS that will never get refactored because it's just the core part that no one wants to touch because it's so important. So the code grows older, of course. So people sat together and thought, okay, well, what can we do? I mean, we need to go for the future. We need to look at what is happening. How can we build a future for TYPO3? And there was even a survey about how the web in general will be built in 2017, just to have some idea how it could work out in the future. Lots of people answered that. I don't know if you know some of the names, but Karen McRae, for example, is a very famous content strategist from the US. Janice Boy is from Denmark. He is a strategist for web and content management. Some people that are really into this topic and have ideas about the future and have lots of customers that have ideas about the future. And we took all this together and started to create new projects, new products for the TYPO3 community and for the future, of course. And we created TYPO3 Flow, a web application framework, and on top of that, TYPO3 Neos, a totally new content management system. It has, of course, a relation to TYPO3 because the developers come from TYPO3 CMS, so they know what worked in TYPO3 CMS. And so it is kind of a continuation, but still it's a new product. It has differences, lots of differences, but there are lots of ideas in it for the future. And so, since last year, that's the world of TYPO3. As I said, TYPO3 now has a brand name with the three products, the CMS, Flow, and Neos. And as we did that step now, we even think about creating more products for the future, because all those products involve lots and lots of modules. If you think about what you saw in TYPO3 CMS today, it is basically built from a lot of smaller things that could also work separately. So in the future, maybe we can come to a place where we have lots of smaller modules that can be put together to one system that you need, your custom-tailored web system, but also can be used by other communities. That's basically an idea for the future. And that's the thing about sharing. We want to share inside the community. We do a lot of work that is for free to share it with all the people that use TYPO3, and we want to go out and also share the ideas and the work we do with other open source communities. Because they also do a lot of work that we can profit from, so working together makes sense. And that leads me to the TYPO3 community that does all this, and now that you're sitting here, you're more or less part of the community already, and we have quite some people of the Italian TYPO3 community in here, which is pretty cool. They organized all this. TYPO3 has over 100,000 community members worldwide, and as you've seen today in Italy as well, all the speakers from here, and it's a pretty big community that changed a lot over years. I mean, it started from a very small group of like 15, 20 people, and now we are over 100,000. So communication is changing a lot, and the way how to work together changes a lot. But still, we try to maintain the spirit of openness and sharing in this community. So we have lots of face-to-face events, like code sprints and bar camps, which makes sense to work together and to learn from each other, even more than working remotely with other people. So the TYPO3 community itself can work well, but of course it needs infrastructure, and the bigger it grows, it needs more infrastructure. You need to have communication systems, you need to have email addresses, you need to have mailing lists, you need to have code repositories. All that needs to be managed somehow. And in the beginning, just someone said, okay, I will set up a server in my private bedroom or whatever, back then. But that doesn't work anymore in such a big community and with such a system. So you have to have something official that takes care of all these day-to-day things that need to be there. And that's how the TYPO3 Association basically was founded. Because we also needed events at some point, and bigger events than just 30 people in a room. Events like the TYPO3 convention that has 300, 400, 500 visitors. And that can only be organized if you have a central body that takes care of daily business, so to speak. The TYPO3 Association is based in Swiss. It's an association, as in the name, so it has a voted board, voted by the members, bylaws, so it's pretty open, democratic. It's not a company, so it's not about earning money in the association. But the association, of course, needs money to do the job. So if you want to help the community and the project, you become a member of the TYPO3 Association.